Welcome back to the Inspired Life Vancouver. I am so excited and honored to have here with me a legend, in my opinion, a pioneer ahead of her time, this amazing female entrepreneur who has paved the path for so many. I am talking about the ultimate boss babe, Christine Morton of Christine Lingerie. What an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, Christine.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's really exciting to be here. Yeah.
My pleasure. Wow, the conversations we've had, we can probably film you for hours. I am very grateful to be dressed in one of Christine's designs right now. Now, Christine has dressed so many celebrities, but the top of the list, Elizabeth Taylor. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about working with the great Liz Taylor.
Well, Elizabeth Taylor was found our designs in one of our stores in New York, and so we were asked to make this special gown, special colors for her. We had to cut the gown 5 inches shorter because she's just tiny. You know, I saw her one time and she's very small, but after that she was a regular customer. So we were making this beautiful gown and sending it to her in all different colors to New York. We called it the Liz gown and we put it in our collection. So it was really special. Yeah.
That is amazing. Now, right away, I think of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. So a lot of my inspiration actually comes from that type of a show where you're looking at the beautiful slip, the slip dress that she was wearing, and now we're all wearing them, right?
Yeah, I was just mentioning earlier, whether you go to high-end luxury boutiques or even just Aritzia, slip dress is the thing. And 10, 20 years ago, I loved wearing the little baby doll dresses with jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Because I loved the mixture of that sensual with the casual for a night out. Now, you have done this wearing slip dresses before it was even a thing.
That's right.
Where did that concept came from?
Yeah, well, I think when you're working with silk, it's such a beautiful fabric to play with. All my gowns are cut on the bias, so you have this amazing fit. And so when I started, getting into more different styles of lingerie, it was just a natural because it just really worked. And then you ended up making some even for wedding dresses or for bridesmaids dresses, that kind of thing, and you wear them out. It's just such beautiful fabric. You can do so much with it.
Wonderful. I want to hit rewind, and that's something I like to do with all of our guests. Talking about the inspiration. Now, you were mentioning earlier, when you started designing lingerie, there was no one doing this before. You were ahead of your time. What gave you the idea that this is something you wanted to do? And I can only imagine what everyone was saying, what sort of commentary you got.
My passion has always been lace. And when I was young, I used to collect antique lace. And I'd go to rummage sales or estate sales, and so I had all this lace, and I really wanted to do something with it, and began by making Edwardian style blouses with a lot of pin tucks and lace detail and lace yokes, but they were like one of a kind, and they were time consuming. So I had a few pieces of lingerie from the 20s and 30s that I'd collected. And so I took a pattern off, like a camisole, little tap pant, even a teddy, and started making them in the silk. And each one was different because they'd have antique lace on them, and you only have so much antique lace, so they were really special pieces. And then I had learned to make rosebuds. One of my first jobs was gift wrapping, so I learned how to make all these little rosebuds. So we made those in silk, and we'd put those on. So they were really quite unique, and people really, they really found them and really thought they were special. So my business was pouring.
That's so fantastic and amazing. And I love speaking to people who are doing things that have not been done before. I would love to talk about, what sort of feedback that because you're the first one doing this ahead of everyone else. You just recently celebrated 50 years of designing beautiful, classy, elegant lingerie for women. And now you're creating pages for men as well.
Yes.
But if we were to rewind, what was it like for you in the beginning? Did you have moments where you doubted that you were going to continue? Did you ever imagine you're going to be doing this 50 years down the road?
Never. I never imagined I would be doing it 50 years down the road. And I had a designer friend, Zonda Nellis, and she would go, "We're going to be doing this, forever." And I'd think, oh, I hadn't even thought that. I never really conceived that it would be a business that would grow, and that I would still be passionate about it, especially 50 years. This is our 50th year. So I think it's kind of, when it started, I really was excited, just to make things that I loved, and be able to share them with women and see their response. So, that certainly helped me in building my business. I think the difficult things sometimes are being a woman in business that long ago, and being accepted for what I was trying to do, and not that it was kind of a joke, or it was really something I was passionate about. Going to the bank and trying to get your first line of credit, and having to do cash flows, and I had to learn all that as well, and it was challenging. It was challenging. So actually, there was, at one point, I had a wonderful fellow who really believed in what I was doing, and the line of credit kept getting higher and higher, and then he was replaced by someone who just didn't understand it at all, the business, and he actually called my line. It was $250,000 at that point, which that many years ago was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so what we did, we had a lot of inventory, and we actually went on South Granville and put everything in a store, and sold it. It was kind of like the first ever pop-up store. And we had lineups of people coming, and they were, we had so much stock that we cleared it, and we managed to meet the needs of the bank. So I kept on.
And obviously in demand.
Yes.
Now I can speak for myself. Like, I feel so grateful. I remember back in the day, I feel like decades ago, wearing your pieces, I believe, for a runway or photo shoot.
Right. I know.
But
it's wonderful.
even the dress that I'm wearing right now, it feels like air. It feels very feminine. It feels very divine. It feels like it feels like me, it's like because of the way that it fits. What is some of the feedback that you received from your celebrity clients, such as Oprah? On the cover of the Oprah Winfrey magazine, Oprah was wearing one of Christine's PJs, and what a beautiful lavender color. Wow.
That's really interesting that you would say that, because it was a total surprise for me. I selling to a store in New York, a beautiful store, Takashimaya, and I was really loved the buyer there. She had a great eye. She phoned me up and she said, I'm going to need some lavender pajamas, and I'm going, oh, okay, what's going on? And she said, well, you're on the cover. We're on the cover of Oprah's magazine.
No big deal.
And I'm going, no, you're kidding. I can't believe you. And so she sent it to me overnight, and I thought, oh my gosh, we are on the cover. So we looked at it and realized that they had taken a pair of pajamas stylists had picked up a number of things for the shoot, and they had used the pajama, but the pajamas were pink, and they had recolored them to match the whole, because she loves lavender, right? So I'm like desperately going back to Korea, going, we need bolts of lavender fabric. So it was pretty exciting, though. We really were pleased.
Christine, one of the reasons I find you so inspiring is being a female entrepreneur, not in today's day and age, but 50 years ago. I love speaking to entrepreneurs and artists, because being an artist, sometimes we can have this, I've been there, where I just want to focus on being the artist, creating art, doing the work. But to have the financial aspect, to be able to pay your bills, to have the funds, to have the credit lines, we have to, work on that part of the business, which can be very challenging. Can you tell me what are some of the lessons you have learned over the years that have helped you grow in your business that can perhaps inspire our audience? Whether they're a designer, an actor, artist, or photographer, because I think there's a through line when you work for yourself, when you're the sole boss. And I think you have a lot of wisdom to share when it comes to that.
I think the most important part of it for me was having a passion for what I did. And early on, I was given opportunity to go to Hong Kong, China, and have it all produced there, and move into mass production, and take my designs to a whole different level. And I just felt like that's not me, that's not how I want to have my business. So I think it's very important to know what your passion is, and to really go after that, and believe in yourself that you've got something special. We're all very unique, and if you can find the uniqueness in you and believe in it, then people believe in you. People do believe in you, and take for example, Alina, who is a woman that came to work for me when she was 21. She actually was an immigrant on a boat from Laos, and my church was sponsoring, and I heard that there was someone there that could sew, so I brought her in, and she's still with me today. That's like 40 years.
That's amazing.
And her mother did a lot of sewing, and her grandmother made all my little rosebuds and decals and things, all by hand. I mean, beautiful seamstress. So, I guess what I'm saying is, it's important to find people that are willing to trust you and to be part of what you're building. And Alina and her family, her husband works for me now. I've had her sisters sewing, because my sewing is done. It's like a little cottage industry, so they work in their homes, and so that's been, that I think that's important. To surround yourself with people that really kind of have specialties that you don't, but that are strong and that want to see you grow, want to see the business grow, really believe in what you're doing. So I think that's important.
And what I'm also hearing a lot is be courageous. Because part of what you've also done is something really brave. I'm sure you could have not, because I can imagine what it must have been like for you when you went to the bank. Here's a proposal, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create lingerie for women and make them feel beautiful and sensual and empowered and confident. So I think that's really fantastic and really inspiring for me to hear. What is amazing is the fact that everything is manufactured here in Vancouver, designed here. and you work with women.
Yeah.
Ultimate boss babe.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we have, early on, I hired seamstresses, and we had this little tiny factory, maybe about 5 seamstresses, and I just didn't like going to work anymore. I didn't like being that kind of boss babe, right? Where you're kind of watching everybody and what are they doing and everything else. So at that time, I met Alina and a number of other seamstresses that worked in their homes, and I thought, well, that's fantastic. We do the cutting, so that's what we do now, even 40 years later. We do all the cutting, and we put it all together and send it home. I send it to their homes. I have 2 girls that work for me that have, I guess, over the period of 5-6 years since they've been with me, they've had children. One's just had a 3rd child. So it gives them an opportunity to work at home and have a business and still have babies and do it on their own time. So I think that's really important. So the business has grown that way, where we know exactly, each piece who can produce that the best. So it's made from start to finish by one person. It's not like passed along like a factory line. So it's a very specialized garment that we're talking about. Yeah.
I think it also speaks a lot about you, the fact that you have women who are working for you for a long time. It's not that high turnover, and I can just sitting next to you, Christine, has a very peaceful vibe, very, very calm, and no wonder everyone loves working with you. Now, let's talk about some of the celebrities. We've talked about Oprah, we've talked about Liz Taylor. I do want to ask, I'm not sure if you would share these stories, but how was it working, creating pieces custom for her? Was she demanding? What was she like? Would she call you? Would her agent call you? Would she send you letters? What was that like?
Well, I think it was really exciting, actually, because we worked with her in a way, mostly through a store, but we certainly heard from her person, that was putting through the orders and exactly what she liked and how it would fit and that kind of thing. Yeah, I would say there was definitely a bit of demand there, and it's fun. It just is, it's fun for everybody just to know that, right? We had, I'm forgetting the names. I always forget the names. I'm thinking of Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, love her.
Her husband.
Yes.
What's his name?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Yes.
Michael Douglas. So Michael Douglas went into a store in New York and said, I want some flannel pajamas for my wife. And they were like, oh no, this was like Mother's Day or something, or birthday. No, you don't want flannel pajamas for your wife. And so they phoned me up, what have you got? And we had just designed a new pajama that was just beautiful. And we only had the sample. But we just went like, of course, so we sent that to them. So she was very happy. Yeah, that was fun.
I love Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah,
that's
she's
amazing.
so beautiful.
Yes. I mean, she could play Liz. I'm such a fan of both of them. Kardashians, as well as Cher, are fans of your work. Like, your PJ sets were worn by them.
We also have Jane Fonda. She's we have dressed her for a number of episodes of Grace and Frankie. She loves our lingerie, so that's really fun. I mean, we have so much happening in Vancouver as well. So we're in a lot of the shows. The stylists come in and shop at our boutique on Powell Street, and they choose a lot of things for different people. So it's fun.
And I love your boutique. I love the chandeliers. I was just like, you could have a photo shoot in here. This would be a great location to film. We could have filmed this there.
That's right.
And I'm looking at some dresses that I'm just like, I can wear this on a red carpet. I can wear this for a photo shoot. Stunning, stunning dresses. Now let's talk about your 2023 collection. We have some of the pieces over here. First of all, I want to bring this gorgeous one. Wow, the silk is just so stunning.
So this is a print we call the geisha print.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it around because the back is so beautiful. We did this print. What I really did with this year, because this is my 50th year in business, I went back to some of the things I loved, some of my favorite designs and some of my favorite fabrications, and I thought, let's just bring those back. Now this was done in a very dark colors, dark burgundies, and beautiful. We did it quite a few years ago, so I had it recolored in all these soft pastels, and then we did a new cut with the kimono. So it's a very Asian style piece, obviously, and you can wear, here we should have tied it up,
A belt that you could
yeah, it's like a belt you can put as an obi, so you could wear it as a dress. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and pretty gown
And I love
underneath.
this slip, yeah.
Yeah, this is a really pretty piece.
Champagne, beautiful color.
This is our silken gown, named after our model who wears her gowns. And yeah, it's a vintage, we call this vintage cream. Yeah.
In one of your interviews I was watching on YouTube, you were like, oh, you can serve dinner in this. You can serve breakfast in this. And I'm just getting these visions. I'm like, I just want to walk around, wind blowing in my hair and, making myself breakfast and my dog is right there. I can completely picture that. You have, we were speaking about your passion for flea markets and vintage lace. This is just unbelievable. I love this lace.
So this is a Chantilly lace. And, because we are doing production, we don't use a lot of vintage lace anymore because there's just not the quantities. But it's, they make beautiful lace in France. So, it's just a stunning piece. Now we've done this with silk georgette cover. The gown itself has a cutaway that goes right round to the back.
Oh wow,
low
lovely.
back, and then a deep cutaway here.
Lovely, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's our part of our bridal collection.
I have a friend getting married. This would be great for her.
Yeah. And then this is our signature collection. So this is a chemise that we had in our collection probably 25 years ago. And, as I said, I just looked at some of the pieces I'd done before and brought them back. And
this is the rosebud that you were speaking of.
Yeah, they're so dainty and pretty. And then we have a C. I don't know if you can see it here, but we put C.
I see it.
Little
Yes. Stunning.
So the skirt's the chiffon, and then the cover has the chiffon ruffle, and little collar and little C at the back.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's really
stunning. And I love these colors because they can look good on any skin tone.
Absolutely.
I love wearing pastel colors, muted tones, because my skin just pops.
They're very rich, and with silk, it's amazing the vibrancy you can get. But look at this saffron. So this was a print I had done previously, and I reworked it. It's got little birds up here and in the back.
This is like wearing art.
So I just, I really think it's absolutely like wearing art. And so we've made these kimonos to wear with pants and a camisole, and wear it out to parties, wear it to dinner. I mean, it's a gorgeous piece.
I love
it's
the idea
not
of
just
wearing.
For the bedroom.
Yeah, I love the idea of wearing a kimono as a dress.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I'm wearing, is a peacock kimono, which is one of our iconic prints. And I actually wore this to my daughter's wedding and down in the south, and it's lovely, right?
And I like in summertime that how it's just very airy. Like this dress, I can completely see myself, just wearing it to a birthday or a wedding or.
These are Italian prints, and it's a beautiful soft fabric. We have started designing our own prints, which is really fun. So we've got some of those coming up for fall, and it's just, you know, there's just so much creativity in all of it that it really inspires me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you just go alive? Like,
like
when you're creating a new collection, like what is...
Absolutely.
So you create like a year in advance?
We do. We're working on spring 24 right now, and we have just designed 2 new prints and sent them off. And one of the suppliers said that he could print both sides. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you can print both sides? Like, this is a whole new thing for us, you know? So it sort of opens up this, oh, well, what could we do with that, you know? And so anyway, he's making scarves. So I thought, well, that's a start. That'll be fun. So we'll see how that works. But the fabrications are endless in silk. I mean, there's all different weights and all different things you can do. Then there's the lace, and then there's the print. So it's wonderful, you know.
And you were mentioning earlier that how, you know, I'm not sure if we caught this conversation on camera, that women pass Christine lingerie down to their daughters because of the silk, the quality of the silk. Can you tell us about the quality of the silk that you choose?
Well, we work with, the silk is a weight, is by weight, by mummy it's called. So we use a 19 mummy silk in our solids because it's got a lovely weight to it, and then you can get lighter, like this is more of a 16 mummy. So it's very fine. Then you can get Georgette, which is like an 8 mummy. You know, so there are different levels. We do a waffle, which is a 50 mummy. You know, so it's very heavy. But the quality of the silk is it's just beautiful to work with. So we design, as well as the prints, we design all the colors to match. So we're sending colors off all the time. And then we're also working with lace suppliers, and they're coloring the lace for us to match. And so it's, you know, it's like bringing it all together from different points in the world and coming up with something that, you know, is quite unique.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
So for our audience watching, where can they find, other than at your atelier, Christine Lingerie?
Yeah, well, we have a website, christinelingerie.com, but we're also available in West Vancouver. A store called Romantique carries a lovely collection. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to share something exciting with our audience here, is that at 72, you recently went scuba diving in Belize. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're funny.
Tell me about that. What got you? And that was your first time scuba diving?
Well, yes, yeah. No, I've always wanted to learn how to scuba dive. My husband was a passionate scuba diver, and every time I went to get training, I'd get pregnant, right? Because you can't learn when you're pregnant. So, you know, he passed away, and I guess it was just the whole idea of, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that now. So my son was living in Belize for a month or two, and my daughter and I went down there, and we took the course. And so we learned how to scuba dive, and then we went scuba diving with my son, and it was, you know, it was very special. It was really special.
That sounds so lovely. I'm just going to tell you, I tried in Hawaii, and I am just learning to swim. So definitely not a good idea. I had a panic moment. So you're much braver than me. So you're inspiring me.
Well, so I've been swimming, I must tell you. I've been swimming. I started swimming with this group of women at Ambleside Beach at 6:30 every morning. Yeah, they're crazy. I just met them at the beach, and I love cold swimming, and I've been doing that, you know, over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But these guys do it every morning. So
rain or shine?
Oh yeah.
Any weather?
Oh yeah, any weather. No. So I'm on my 20th day.
Rock star. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I know, it's incredible. It makes you feel so good.
That is amazing. That's where all your energy and vitality comes from. So these are the questions I like to ask all of our guests. Where do you go in Vancouver to get inspired?
you know, for me, I'm inspired in my garden. You know, I love being in nature, and so those are the places where, like in Belize, you know, again, it's nature, and you're looking at all the colors. The colors are so incredible, and you know, I just think we live in a place that offers so much in terms of outdoor, you know, swimming. Everybody can swim, or hiking in the woods, that kind of thing. So I really find that awakens the passion that I have, I would say. Yeah.
And because our show is Inspired Life
Oh, yeah.
Vancouver, what inspires you in life? Other than nature and your garden?
Yeah. I would say, you know, it's interesting. I have, you know, just lost my husband a few years ago, and
I'm sorry.
And thank you. Just learning again learning new, how to rebirth almost myself, because it's so different being on your own, and so meeting all these women at the beach, they totally inspire me. Like each day I'm sort of learning a bit more about what they do and who they are, and so I think people. I also have a group of women that come to my home. They've been doing it for about 10 years, and we just sit in silence. Well, that's totally inspires me.
So you meditate a lot.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah. I feel I'm very blessed, and have had an amazing career that I've really enjoyed, and hoping for it to continue. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're very busy, have a lot going on. I really appreciate it, and I hope that conversation inspired you. If it did, make sure to let us know.
Thank you.
My pleasure.